Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavadgita satsang. Let us continue our contemplation based on second chapter discourse by sriprabhuji on Sankhya Yoga. So this is in the day 3 video, and right now we are contemplating question number 10. What is samsara chakra or cycle of karma? We'll begin with many of us have shared it. Smita ji, you are not there in the last session. We can begin from you sharing your views on this particular question. Then we will end with the 11th question.
I've honestly not finished day 3 video yet.
Yeah.
My understanding of cycle of karma is limited to our the life and death cycle, samsara chakra, from birth to death and recycle. With every cycle we are accumulating our karma, and that accumulation of karma, eventually we say we come back to fulfill whatever deeds we have left undone, to come and complete it. So finally when you have the balance is not there, then the soul is, Atma is free till such time you are coming back and repaying for the sins you are doing. But you are always eternally stuck in that chakra unless that balance is zero. That's how from childhood we have understood it to be.
Let me prompt some questions there. So now, when we say that it has to become, balance has to become zero, what has to become zero?
See, we will always, in course of life, we are performing certain actions, good actions, as per our karma yoga, what we are doing. And are we a rogi or a yogi based on how we have been living? Those are accumulating. Are we on the right path, or are we on the? So that keeps accumulating our bad karma in one sense. There's a better word for it, I don't know. So that keeps us binding to this cycle.
So the notion that you're bringing is, whenever there is an action, it is being classified as good and bad, or papa and punya. So your viewpoint is like a ledger, accounting ledger, it has to become zero. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Is it ever possible? Because any action you perform, any action leads to certain fruits of the action, no? Any action, it may be a good action, it may be a bad action. So for the time being, keeping aside the good and the bad adjective, any action you perform, any action has a particular fruit. So how is it ever possible that this can be nullified?
No, once you are performing not with the result in mind, but are performing, with the fact that the action itself is what we are doing is consciousness, it is divine, and we are believing in that action and we are doing it, then we are not bothering about the results. So then and there, you are not thinking, okay, if I do this, I will get this. You are achieving something. Your heart and soul is in the action at that point in time. Then you are not putting this like you said, lekachara of ledger, that you're not thinking like that. So when you are put, then there is nothing getting added to that ledger itself. You are performing the action, but that action, if it is, yes, if it is, in our understanding, it is either plus or minus. I am doing good to somebody, or I am doing not doing good to somebody. That action is always has some consequence or impact on somebody else, on the samsara that we are living in.
So you're saying the escape route is doing the action without the attachment to the fruit.
But at the same time, you have to be conscious that is your action going to impact, how your action is going to impact somebody.
Okay.
Somebody or something or some in this world. There are.
See, in one sense, when we go a little deeper into any action, even with the best of the best intention, a soldier who is on this side of the border, when he shoots and kills a soldier on the other side of the border, for this person, it is a duty towards the nation and has done a good deed. But the mother on the other side of that slain soldier would feel the pinch of, oh, my son died guarding the nation. And whoever caused it, just as an example, I'm saying, whoever caused it may have a bad dream. Let's say there's a curse like that.
Yeah, that is what even in Mahabharata they say, Krishna was also not forgiven. He was cursed. That is, so that is it. There is in what when we say, I think it is dharma and adharma, which you explained last time, last to last class, right? It is, what is the end of day? This soldier has done his duty, and he has done that, but does not take away what is good for we think is good, or what we think is right, dharma, may be considered as incorrect for somebody else. But the fact that there is or the person has performed, the soldier has performed his dharma without considering that I will be glorified, that I will get a medal, that I will be standing on the stage, or I am thinking like this, he has performed his duty. That selflessness is the detachment from the result, right? So at that moment, at that stage, he is only thinking about saving his nation. He's doing his dharma. That attainment, that achievement itself nullifies any other effect. But whatever curse he is getting, that is also part of, like you said, so there is no, in one sense, yes, I contradict that there is no plus 0 and 1 in this. That it is just accumulation.
So when you look at it like that, it keeps accumulating. So where there is an escape, then it's like we are cursed to be eternally bound to this cycle. So therefore, a better analogy could be like an iceberg. That is how generally the baggage of the karma. And in fact, many masters describe it as a ocean of like a ocean of karma. A ocean is like water everywhere, water only. So the question is, can there be an escape? And what does it mean to escape from this?
I'm not sure. Why would, I mean, I would not, is it an escape? I mean, escape sounds like, you're running away from something.
Running away from it. Okay, very good. So then what may be a better term to describe? Okay, first of all, are we bothered about the cycle of, okay, this is the nature of things, right? You do
Yeah.
something and it yields a result. This is the nature of it. So now what do we mean? Why are we even discussing this nature if you're not bothered? If you're not bothered, that's the end of the discussion, no?
No, you're not bothered about it, yes, we don't think of it every day, but when something happens, okay, ಹೋದ್ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಪಾಪ ಕರ್ಮ ಈಗ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ we bind ourselves to that baggage, or we attribute it to that baggage, or that of what is happening now, because there may be a very pious person, or even a small child. I mean, I very sad last 2 weeks. We had heard of passing away of two small children. I was so disturbed actually, and you will think that what could have happened. When you contemplate, oh, karma ಇಂದಾಯ್ತು ಹಂಗಾಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕರ್ಮ, ಏನ್ ಪಾಪ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. So when you, it's very difficult to attribute to anything, then you just put it on karma. Ho janmat karma. You always put it in that way, that so it is a cycle and it is accumulating. So that's when you think of it.
So there's an inherent suffering when we do not understand correctly what is the cycle of karma and how to be free. Rather than using the word escape, how to be free, how to be in freedom. When that clarity is not there, then there is suffering. That is the reason why we are examining, is it not?
Yes.
So now then, therefore, let's ask the question, how to be in freedom then? Can we get rid of the cycle of karma, or can I be in freedom even when the cycle of karma, the samsara chakra is happening?
The freedom is not in getting rid of it. It is in acceptance of the cycle, and in the belief that you are doing your action, and result may or may not be in favor or how you see it, but you're doing your action and you're here to perform this action, and your action is over, you're out, you have finished your duty. That's all. You should, to some extent it may be sounding very mechanical, but that is the reality. Your action, or it is like a drama, and they say, right, Rangabhumi, and your patra is over after some time. So you should see it that way. Now, if you think that there is a next birth, if you think there is accumulation of all of your sins and papa punya, then you will keep thinking of, you will come back in whatever form and shape, or even as a living thing or a non-living thing, I don't know. But then you are not free of that thinking itself, of this cycle of birth and life and death.
So, okay, in this, what are when we talk about cycle of karma, when we say karma, right? What is involved in this cycle? Cycle indicates some kind of a repetitiveness, right? Something is repeating. What is repeating?
The I'm not sure. The life form is repeating.
Yeah, so that is the outcome, right? So now, in order to know that, this picture may help you to prompt some thinking. So just to understand the nature of karma, we use it in many connotations in our society. Sometimes we use it as a good karma, bad karma. Even in that sense, we use the word karma, ayo karma, right? When we say that, it is in sometimes could be a negative connotation. Athwa karma, nan karma, in a, oh, I've done something good. So there is also that connotation associated with karma. But karma simply means doing. There is no negative or positive in it. It's just like a farmer sowing the seeds and then working for it, working for some fruits, right? So the sowing the seed is who is doing it? I am doing it. What is that I am doing? I'm aiming. I want to do something. So that aim or the sankalpa is the seed, and the work that I do towards it is the action, and what I receive out of it is a result. This, if you notice, is a cycle that continuously is happening in life. The aim, action, and result is what is happening continuously in life. This is what you and I are referring as the cycle of karma.
In our science, we'll say input, process, output.
Correct, no? The computer input, process, output. Input, process, output. That's all that is happening. This is what we call as a cycle of karma. And there is somebody who's thinking, all this is happening because of me and on me. And that is the person who's suffering. This me who's saying, oh, I had that sankalpa and I worked for it. And now look at it, the mango I received is a rotten mango. Ayo karma. Or, oh, such a nice mango. I did it. So this fellow who is in the middle of the cycle is the one who is, because he or she is claiming ownership of the fruit. Why he or she is claiming the ownership of the fruit? Because he or she thinks, I have done it. I had the sankalpa. I have worked for it. So now I am supposed to be enjoying it. So the bondage in the cycle of karma is coming due to, first and foremost, attachment to the result or the karma phala. The attachment to the result causes the bondage to this me. Yeah. And then I am the one who's doing the action causes the next level of bondage. So both of these are coming. Why both of these are coming? Because there's an incorrect understanding. So this desire, action, fruit are the aim and the karma and then the karma phala. This cycle is equivalent to, if you look at the whole karma cycle as a tree, the top of the tree is the desire, action, fruit cycle. But what is the cause of it? What is the underlying cause of it? Is the bottom of the tree, which is nothing but a feeling of, I have to do something in order to get something to make me feel fulfilled. There is a sense of incompleteness, which is leading to this cycle of desire, action, and fruit. So first of all, therefore, Krishna is teaching us at the top, hey, give up your attachment to the fruit of the action. So that way, enjoyership goes away. Then how do you get rid of the bottom of the tree, the root of the tree? Is by realizing who I am truly. So why am I having a feeling that I have to do something, that I am incomplete, that I have to do something in order to become happy, I have to do something to feel fulfilled? Because there's an ignorance of who I am truly. So like that, there are two parts to this cycle of karma, to become free from the cycle of karma. The top of the tree, which is the nature of repetition, desire, action, fruit, I can be free by doing selfless service. So the selfless service, and also by giving up the attachment to the fruit of the action, is the one which reduces my attachment to the enjoyership. And the bottom of the tree, or the root of the tree, can be removed only with the right understanding of who I am. Am I going to become complete by doing something? Or what is my true nature? Am I already complete? Unless I examine the root, giving up the enjoyership will only remove part of the cycle. Only by understanding the root of the problem can I be completely then be free from the cycle of the karma. Free means what? The cycle will continue. The cycle continues to operate. The example you brought up, Gandhari cursed Krishna. Krishna's body had to go through whatever the karma phala that it had accrued. As long as I have a notion that I am a body and mind, I also get attached to the fruit of the action. So therefore I suffer. As long as I am this body, if somebody comes and beats this body, I feel I am getting beaten. As long as I have a deeply held notion that I am a man, and if somebody comes and insults my manhood, I feel insulted. So the attachment to the body and the mind is the one that causes me to continue to suffer. So a realized being, a jnani, has dropped the ignorance that I am this body and I am this mind. However, the body and the mind will receive various fruits of various actions, and that is the nature of life. But am I the one who is receiving these fruits of the action? That ignorance is no more there. So Krishna's body seems to go through whatever that it was supposed to go through. But is Krishna, the consciousness, the one who's going through that? Consciousness, as consciousness, you are never diluted. You are never undergoing the change. It is your body that undergoes the change. It's your body that is growing old. It is your body that gets diseases. And I wrongly associate myself as the body. So therefore I claim a yon and karma. So there are therefore two sides to come out of this cycle. So first is by giving up the enjoyership, and by doing selfless action, I become free from the top of the tree. And by truly examining who I am, I become free from the root of the tree. Does it mean that the world of the action stops? No. It only means that I am no more bothered with the world of the action. The world of the action, or the world, is nothing but there is something always happening in the world. There is something always changing in the world. And it is due to some desire. So that cycle of the desire, action, fruit can continue. But in a jnani, therefore, the jnani takes a selfless desire to serve the world. So in that desire to serve the world, there is no more bondage, because it is not for me that the jnani is doing whatever he or she seems to be doing. From the viewpoint of a ajnani, the jnani seems to be doing something. But the jnani also knows that he or she is not the doer also. The doership is not there, enjoyership is not there, and who I am truly, that clarity is there. So thus one can be completely free from the cycle of the karma. Is this bringing clarity, Smita?
Yes. My only question is,
Yeah.
sorry, if while one detaches from the result, in terms of, I understand the enjoyership, but if they do not play their part, you are showing that sowing seeds. Yes. Claiming that I am the only one who sowed this seed and hence the fruit came out very tasty or very nice, the in abundance. There is water, there is rain, the soil, the earthworm, every part has contributed. Is my understanding correct?
Absolutely.
So, but then if I refrain from that doership, I don't play my part in that or the
Correct. Absolutely correct.
purpose.
That's also
Huh.
absolutely correct. So, what is that being free from doership? What does it mean? It doesn't mean refraining from action. It means that no more I am claiming that I am the doer. See, in an action, if this farmer feels, I am the one who is responsible for this fruit of the action, why that feeling is coming? Because the farmer feels he is the one who put the seed, he is the one who cleaned all the things, he is the one who watered. But like you rightly pointed at it, in order for that fruit to happen, so many forces of the nature and so many others have contributed, which this fellow, in his ignorance, is not at all recognizing. Is it not? So, what it means to be free from doership is claiming that I am the doer. Am I the doer? Like you rightly pointed at, this little self, this body and mind, has become part of the bigger mechanism. There is a whole big mechanism that is operating at every point of time. Right now, for this particular body to breathe air, this entire universe is working together in tandem. So, in that sense, when I examine the reality of the nature, I, this little self, cannot be the only doer. So, a better statement would be universe is doing together. It's the cooperation of the universe that is the actual doer. Where is this individual doer? There is no individual doer. Is a recognition in dropping the doership. There is no individual doer. So then what is the way to describe it? Doing is happening by the grace of the universe, by the grace of that existential power. And this body and mind is a participatory cog in the wheel. And glad to be part of this cog in the wheel, because this cog brings a unique capability to the entire mechanism, to the entire chain that is happening. The earthworm is as equally important as the air, which is as equally important as the water, which is as equally important to the cleaning that the farmer did. So, in that recognition, where is that individual doer? That is what Sri Krishna or the great masters are asking us to drop. So that's why here the first thing they are saying is there is no need to give up action, just the change the direction of the action. Instead of what am I going to get, ask the question, what am I going to offer? That's all the change that is needed. In what am I going to offer, it doesn't really matter to who you are serving or how many people you are serving. The very feeling of serving liberates you from that sense of, first of all, the fruit of the action. And as you examine and understand that this entire universe is participating, liberates you from the sense of doership. And as the enjoyership and the doership loosens in this cycle, naturally the mind feels free to examine the very nature of who I am, who's doing and wanting to do something. Who is that I who's doing? Why am I doing? These are the most fundamental questions. Who is doing and why am I doing whatever I am doing? And only in that question, only in the clarity of that question, can there be freedom from the root of this tree. That, oh, I have been thinking I'm doing to feel some sense of completeness. I am already complete. Satchidananda aham, Shivoham. Only in that recognition can the bottom of the tree, that the root of the tree, can be burnt. Does that bring clarity to your questions, Mitaji?
Yes, yes.
So that's why somebody like Vivekananda, somebody like Mata Amritanandamayi, somebody like Prabhuji, any great master you take, their life is a selfless offering, continuous offering to the best of the world, best of the existence. Because there is no more an individual who has to get something or gain something. Because that individual, that me who wants something, that individual is simply a shadow. That individual is really not there. Is simply a reflection. Is a mirage. That clarity has emerged. There is no individual. That me, that ego entity, is simply a mirage. Padma, Padmaji, anything more you would like to add?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಬಂತು.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's all very clear.
Then, so yeah, just to complete that ledger thinking, no? So ledger thinking is essentially when we do the kriya or any karma, there is an impression, and that impression deepens as vasanas, and that is what becomes our vritti, our pattern of what we keep on repeating. And essentially, the karma ledger never has a balance. It just keeps growing. It keeps growing. The balance keeps growing. And how it grows? It simply gets registered as an impression in this unknown, mysterious place called mind. Nobody knows where this mind is. Nobody knows where this memory bank is. It's the universal, unending, infinite memory. There, the impressions are constantly going and getting accumulated. As long as I claim ownership, then I am bound. What am I claiming ownership towards? And who is the one who is claiming ownership? Are the most fundamental questions. And that's why it is said here, only with that right questioning, only jnana can burn the karma. Only with the right question and only with the right understanding, only with the right clarity can this cycle be broken. Shall we move on to the next question, Smitaji?
Yes.
So the last but not the least question of this chapter is some three fantastic statements have been made by Krishna regarding karma, regarding how we can perform our action. Karmanye vadhikaraste, then yogastaha kuru karmani, yogaha karmasu kaushalam, samatvam yogaam ucchyate. So let us contemplate on these three statements. No attachment to result of action. Skillful action is the essence of karma, and the equanimity is the essence of yoga. So please share your viewpoints on number 11. ಪದ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ, ನೀವು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯೇ ವಾಧಿಕಾರಸ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಬಹುಶಃ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ರಮಾನಂದ ಸಾಗರ್ ಅವರಿಂದ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನೀನು ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಫಲಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ. ಯಾತಕ್ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ? ನನಗೆ ಆಸೆಗಳಿದೆ. ಆಸೆಗಳು ಯಾತಕ್ಕಿದೆ? ನಾನು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪೂರ್ಣನಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬಹುದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಆ ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆ ಕರ್ಮದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಫಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಂತ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾನು ಸಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಂಗೆ ದುಃಖ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನೀನು ಲೆಸನ್ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ನೀನು ಪಾಠವನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ನೀನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಸುಖವಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನೇಚರ್ ಇರೋದು ಹಾಗೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಬಹುದು, ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗಬಹುದು. ನೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸದಿಂದನೇ ಅದು ಫಲ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಡೀ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಾಗಿ ಇಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಅದು ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೆ, ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಹೀಗ್ ಬಂತು ಫಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮೊದಲು ನೀನ್ ಯಾರು, ನಿನ್ನ ನೇಚರ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸಾಂಖ್ಯ ಯೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಅದನ್ನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವೋ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾ ಆ ಫಲಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇಕು, ಅದೇನ್ ಮುಗಿಯದ ಆಸೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಇವಾಗ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದಾಗ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಏನೋ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬೇಕು. ಕೊನೆಯ ನಿಮಿಷದವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಪಡಿಬೇಕು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ರು ಸಹ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ದುಃಖ, ಸಂಕಟ ಹಾಗಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅರಿಷಡ್ವರ್ಗಗಳು ಸಹ ತಾಂಡವವಾಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರ್ಮದಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನವು ಹುಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಹೀಗೆ ಇದು ಸೈಕಲ್. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಒಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಬರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಇದು ಚಕ್ರ. ಇದು ಸಂಸಾರ ಚಕ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಭವ ಚಕ್ರ, ಭವರೋಗ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀನು ಫಲ ಏನೇ ಇರಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬಂತ ಆಯ್ತು, ಇದು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಿಂದ ಬಂದಂತಹದ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀನು ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರು. ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸಹ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ನೀನ್ ಏನ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದೀಯಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡ್ಕೋ. ಆವಾಗ ಮುಂದೆ ನೀನು ಇದೊಂದು ಪಾಠ, ಮುಂದೆ ಆ ತಪ್ಪನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಸೋಲು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಜಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಖಿನ್ನತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀನು ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಪರಿತಾಪ ಪಡ್ಬೇಡ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯ ವಾಧಿಕಾರಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೋಗಹ ಕರ್ಮಸು ಕೌಶಲಂ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ಮ. ಕರ್ಮವನ್ನ ನೀನು ಬಹಳ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕೌಶಲ್ಯದಿಂದ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ ಇದ್ನಂತೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮುನ್ಸೂಚನೆ ಬಂತು, ಇನ್ನೇನು ನಾನು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಅವನು ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ. ತನ್ನದೇ ತರಹದ 7 ಶಿಲ್ಪಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡದ್ನಂತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕ ಅವನು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ನಂತೆ. ಇನ್ನ ಯಮದೂತರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಚೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಯಮದೂತರಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಈ ಶಿಲ್ಪಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಈ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತಾರಂತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವನು ಏನದು ತಪ್ಪು, ಏನು ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದೇ ತಪ್ಪು ನೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಮದೂತರು ನೀನೇ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅವಾಗ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರಂತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕುಶಲತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ನಾವು ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಡೆಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಕುಶಲತೆ, ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಡೆಸುವುದನ್ನ ಕಲಿತಾಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗೇ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನೇ ಫಲ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಸುಖ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ದುಃಖ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಏನ್ ಸಂತೋಷ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಇದು ಬರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಹೋಗುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನರೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಸಹ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಇದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಇದು ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೀಗೆ 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 ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಮತ್ವಂ ಯೋಗಂ ಉಚ್ಯತೆ. ಈಕ್ವಾನಿಮಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೋಗ. ಈಕ್ವಾನಿಮಿಟಿ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಯಾತಕ್ಕಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಚಂಚಲತೆ, ಏರಿಳಿತಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಪಂದಿಸದೆ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವನು ಧರ್ಮಿಷ್ಠ, ಇವನು ಕ್ರೂರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗಾಯ್ತು, ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು, ಅವರೆಷ್ಟು ಸುಖವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಾವಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ನನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಅದೇ ಕುಶಲತೆಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವವು ಹುಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಇವು 3 ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪೂರಕವಾದಂತಹದ್ದು. ಆ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಯಾವಾಗ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಭಗವಂತನ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ, ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮನೋ ಮೋಕ್ಷಾರ್ಥಂ ಜಗದ್ ಹಿತಾಯ ಚ ಅನ್ನುವ ವಾಕ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಅಂಟುಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆವಾಗ ಆತ್ಮನೋ ಮೋಕ್ಷಾರ್ಥಂ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸಮಾನ ಭಾವ, ಸಮತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಕ್ವಾನಿಮಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏರಿಳಿತಗಳು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಏರಿಳಿತಗಳು ಇರಲ್ವೋ ಆಗ ಆನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಯಾಗಿ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವ ಯಾವುದು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಮೇಲ್ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಹಂತಗಳಿಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸಮತ್ವ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವೃತ್ತಿಗಳು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಆವಾಗ ಭಗವಂತನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೇ ಯೋಗ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ. ಈ ಮೂರರಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿವು.
ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿತ್ತಮ್ಮ. Smitaji, would you like to share your viewpoints?
Yes. Karmanye vadhikaraste, no attachment to result of action. Like we discussed about the showing the enjoyership and detachment from doership, in the belief that I am responsible or everything is happening because of me, is what we are referring to here. When there is no doership, there is a nice saying, I think one of you has mentioned it. When there is no doership, there is only worship. And so one can choose the action and not the result. So focus on the action. What kind of action is what Sri Krishna is saying? Yogaha, karmasu, kaushalam. Skillful action is the essence of karma. Focusing on the right action, not just mindless. Guruji speaks about mindless action. The action that improves my life, action that improves someone else's life, and striving to constantly living that life with that essence. Samatvam Yogaam Ucchyate is bringing equanimity in essence of yoga, is to be remaining balanced or equipoised, even-mindedness. So whatever action you perform, again, if you are not focusing on the result, you are not affected by the result. At least you will, you try not to be affected by the result. You are performing your action. The action is the happiness. Action is the yoga you are performing. So you are not bothered about the result, and you are also not impacted both positively and negatively. You are in a balanced state of mind when you are detached from the result itself. So because you have done it, you have done the action as a worship, so the result does not matter. If you see it that way, you will just keep performing your action and be part of the universe. Keep contributing to the universe. So these three are the overall essence of how to live, performing your action without attachment, with skillfully, and with poised mind.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you. Padmaji?
Yes, sir. Like Smitaji mentioned, the three shlokas are how we have to function in this world with the body-mind complex. So the first one is Karmanye vadhikaraste. So no attachment to result of action. I think attachment to the result of action leads to viyoga. It is not yoga anymore. Because when there is viyoga, then you are again constantly performing actions by which you want to change the result. Actually, do you even have control over the result? No. Because any action, you cannot say that the result of the actions are not just based on the actions happening in the current lifetime or what is happening currently. It is defined by the laws of nature. So there is no way for you to actually ascertain that this should be the result of this action. So when there is no way to ascertain the result of the action, the only way is to say that I will only perform the action without worrying about the result or without having attachment to the result. So that also leads to peace of mind for us also, because the constant chase after result is what is driving your actions. So that is not there anymore. You are doing the action for the sake of just acting and not based on any result. So that is the first one. And also then actions are offered to God himself. It is offered to the higher. So the action itself gets purified because of your offering to the divine. So that is another aspect of it. And second one is Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Skillful action is the essence of karma. So here again, any situation that comes to you, you are performing actions constantly. There is no way that you are not performing action. So when you are performing action, what kind of action should you perform? You can only perform actions which are for the benefit of yourself and also for the benefit of others. So whatever you can change with your actions, you can try to change. But whatever you cannot change, then accepting it is what gives the peace in such situations. Because again, what not accepting the situation also results in action that may have lack of clarity. So skillful action is where you have clarity of why you are performing that action. And Samatvam Yogaam Ucchyate, equanimity is essence of yoga. So the only thing we can do is hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. So with the bhava of Hanuman here, I think that is the best example, that when you are performing in this world with the body, mind, intellect, that complex, you always assume yourself to be the servant of God. You are the servant of God. So whatever is ordained, you do accordingly. When you are in meditative states, you are related to Rama. You think, okay, there is Rama within me. And then when there is complete merging, then only divine is there. So with that, you have to perform the action. So the divine will perform in only way which is good for everyone. No, the Jagat Hitaya will be primary in the actions. Thank you, sir. That's all.
Very nice, Padmaji. Thank you. So just one essential term or phrase we all have heard to kind of summarize all these three. This is there is a great master called Basavanna, and he has said it, Kayakave Kailasa. So Kailasa means a place where there is only kind of unlimited, unbridled dance, lasa. Okay, so what does it mean? So Shiva is shown as Nataraja, dance, in dance. So the dance of the divine is the world. Dance of the divine, when it has to express, it expresses as various kinds of transformations. So the dance of the divine, Kailasa. So where is he dancing? In Kailasa. Who is dancing? Shiva. And what is this phrase saying? Kayakave Kailasa. Work itself is like the dance of that Shiva. So how can work be like that? Means what? When the work is having no burdens, then it is freedom, is it not? There's a wonderful little story of a girl climbing a mountain with her brother on her back. There's one another elderly person also walking alongside her, And he notices her and he says, my God, it is so difficult for me climbing this. And she is not only so little, so frail, she's also carrying somebody, and it must be very tough. So he asks her, why don't you put him down? Let him also walk. Is it not burdensome for you? Is it not heavy for you? She simply says, no, I'm carrying my brother. This person is confused. No, 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 no. I'm not asking who is he to you. Is it not heavy? Why don't you put him down? Please walk free. She once again says, no, he is my brother. He now stops. No, I'm not asking who is he to you. Why are you carrying him? Is it not difficult? Arre, how can my brother be burdened to me? That is freedom. It is not the work that I'm doing that is binding me. It is the feeling, the attitude with which I'm doing. If there's a fellow called God, look at that fellow called God. He has no freedom from even to probably, let's say, if he's sneezing, no, he cannot even clean his nose. Why? Because constantly one or the other person is constantly asking, give me that, give me this, why not that, why not this, you did that. Constantly only complaints only, no? If there's a fellow called God, he must have the most miserable life. Why? Everybody is constantly asking and constantly complaining, constantly yelling at him. Because who is the cause of the world? God. And look at the world, it's in shambles. Who is responsible? God, you are responsible. So this fellow called God must be in real hell, Raurava Naraka. So is that what it is? So if there's a fellow called God, how is that he is able to continue life? The only way is a attitude of a mother. A mother, when the baby is crying, doesn't matter whether I'm hungry, I'm sleeping, or am I rested. The baby says the crying, and now all my energy is there for the caring of the baby. So when that is the feeling of the action, when this is something that I care for, in that sense of care, there is no more burden of what somebody is saying. Somebody asked Modi, how can you be smiling like that? You constantly are smiling. He says, मैं बहुत खाता हूँ इसलिए मुझे बहुत आनंद होता है. अब क्या खाते हो, क्या खाते हो, हमको भी बोलिए. Every day everybody is giving me 100 kgs of galiyan. So in India today, if there is one person who is most abused, it must be Modi, because everything is because of Modi. Next is God. First we have to blame somebody. No, so husband has to blame wife, wife has to blame husband. After that, somebody has to blame the roads. So like that, ultimately in this country today, if you have to blame somebody, it is Modi. So like that, मैं बहुत खाता हूँ. क्या खाते हैं? गालियाँ खाता हूँ. So that is the attitude of a karma yogi, which is, I'm not here for the sake of your insult or your praises. You praise me, you insult me. Both are for my own upliftment. I'm not bothered by your insult or praise. And I'm doing this because why does a cuckoo bird sing? Why does the sun shine? Because its very nature is to offer. The very nature of the sun is to shine. Your very nature is to offer. Your very nature is to do the best. That's why you love doing the best things. When you do that little dish for your child, you want to make sure it is the best, because that doing the best is inherent in you. Only thing that has to be left is for who I am doing and what am I going to receive. That's all that confusion that comes. Otherwise, kaya kave kailasa. In this very moment, when I do with that fullest involvement, like how you wonderfully said, work is worship. There is no doing, but only praying. There is only that feeling of gratitude. That feeling of gratitude is in this very moment, in the way I perform the action. So kayakave kailasa. I can be free when here, aware here, when now, here and now. And when here and now I am free, then where is the question of bondage? Because life is nothing but a series of here and nows. I'm free here and now. Job done. Hari Om. Any further questions or points? Anybody? Okay. So with that, we can also say Krishnarpanamastu to the second chapter, Contemplation. Thank you all. Wonderful for making this a rich Gnana Yagna. Krishna says the way to liberation is perform Yagna. Do whatever you're doing with an attitude of Yagna. And among all the Yagnas, he says Rishi Yagna or Jnana Yagna is the highest form of the Yagna. So all of us are participating, and may the Yagnapala be of value to the entire universe. Thank you. Hari Om.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಕೈಲಾಸ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
Thank you.